I don't pay much attention to the popularity of subject when I start writing a script. About this particular subject, I realized that there is this vulnerable group of children that don't have a voice. I took it upon myself to tell their story and let their story be heard in a way that appeals to a wider audience. So there is a lot of drama, comedy, and some action as well. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to let the audience discover it when the movie is released.
You know, since the day I auditioned with Karim, he was explaining the story. It's a very important story, first of all. Let's get to that. It's a very important story that I feel is important to be told. Why am I loyal with Karim? Well, very simple. He's a man that had a vision. He's a man that wanted to deliver a good story. And it's hard to come across these great directors that want to tell a beautiful story like this. When we sat down and we spoke and he told me everything he had planned, I said, let's do it. And that's what made me a loyal actor and now friend to Karim.
Well, that's a good question. Going into it, we knew we were going to do guerrilla style. We knew we had skeleton crew, and we knew we weren't going to be able to do these epic, huge budget movie shots. So it was down to getting the right equipment that we were be able to manage with just a few 2 to 3 people, and then doing the best we can with our long lenses, our different ND filters, and just trying to get the best look with the the least amount of time involved. Because we didn't have any time on the set, we were moving quick. Biggest challenge was the fact that we were shooting guerrilla style. I mean, we don't have time. We didn't really have a chance to go check out all the locations beforehand and prep and see what we're going to do with our lighting situation. We didn't have enough hands on set to, be able to hold bounces and do what we wanted exactly. But so time and the size of the crew, the amount of hands we had, was definitely a challenge.
90% of the movie was shot in the streets of San Diego. That created a big challenge for us because in those types of locations, you have no control over that type of environment. There were a lot of interruptions, and in addition to that, the weather. You have no control over the weather or the lighting. All these factors can affect the creativity and performance of the crew members as well as the actors. But somehow we managed to make it happen.
We shot with the 5D Mark II, knowing it was going to be guerrilla style and we're going to be in a bunch of different situations, lighting-wise, exteriors, interiors, with high contrast situations. There's just such a wide array of scenes that we had to shoot. We figured that this camera would be the best and compact to be able to take it where we needed to and get it done on a low budget without having a huge crew to accompany us.
We had bad and good moments, and since I'm optimistic, I'm gonna start with the positive. The good moments, I think personally, is completing the production of Hola America despite all the odds and challenges. As for my worst moment, by far, I think my worst moment was when I had to delete few scenes to reduce, to shorten the movie. It was initially 2 hours and a half long, and I was advised to reduce it to 1 hour and 45 minutes. So I had to cut off some scenes that wouldn't affect the meaning or the essence of the story. It was extremely hard for me to break this news to my actors and see the disappointment on their faces. Personally, it was the worst and the heartbreaking experience.
I'd say the toughest scene was probably shooting in the locomotive at night because the space we had to shoot in was probably no bigger than this, and we had to fit in 3 kids and somehow get the lighting and get the camera in there. So I ended up having to just hang outside of this train, holding on with my shoulders, pulling focus with my left, grabbing the camera with my right, and literally hanging from the outside of a train with the camera as we're shooting this scene. And then lighting, we didn't have any power sources where we were in the middle of nowhere on this locomotive, So that was tough. We were using a couple LEDs. We even had to use some iPhone lights here and there and adjust for the green cast and the coloring in post-production. But that was a pretty crazy scene. No, when it comes to color correcting, that was easy, especially for me, since going into shooting it, since I shot it, I knew how I wanted it to look. I shot it in the way that would give me the best results for coloring. And we used DaVinci Resolve, which is the top dog really in the industry for this type of work. And it wasn't tough at all. I knew what we wanted to look like. The director and I, were on the same page as far as the look. It was just a matter of getting it done. It honestly wasn't tough at all.
It's pretty much a message about what's going on in life today right now. I think it's going to open up the eyes of a lot of families to see that there's children crossing the border every single day by themselves. And sometimes we got to put ourselves in that situation and wonder, what if that was our children's, our family members, our brothers or sisters crossing that border, and everything they're encountering. I think it's going to deliver a message of opening up people's eyes.
I learned that even on really low budget stuff with the skeleton crew, you're still able to get really good stuff, really good shots. You meet a lot of new people, you meet a lot of great new locations, even if it's a smaller project. But overall, I think the best thing I took out of it is the friendships from the people on set.
A learning process never ends. And as my father used to say all the time, there is no such thing as a bad experience. All experiences are good experiences. Even the bad ones are good to learn from. I learned the first principal rule of filmmaking, which is never give up. And also keep yourself all the time motivated and inspired, and try to inspire others. And this is not easy. To be honest with you, several times I was thinking about quitting. I felt exhausted, I felt helpless, and I was thinking about quitting. But surrounding yourself with a great team of friends, or I should say true friends, who share the same passion and the love for the project or the subject you are working on, it gives you a boost a little bit. And also, when you hit rock bottom, they will never bail out on you. They'll ride along with you throughout your production journey. And I was lucky enough to have such an amazing cast and crew members. And I shouldn't forget about fans as well, who supported me along the way. For that, I'm so appreciative and grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karim.